Welcome. This is David Boles, Human Meme. Today's topic: what is a failed writer? How do writers gauge success? Book sales, money, publication by a major imprint, self-publishing, awards, public relations coverage. There are many people in the world who are eager and available to label any author a failure. But what does that even mean in today's combustible consumables? Yes, what exactly is a failed writer? A writer who has few book sales, no money, no publication deal, the inability to give away a free book, no recognition, no Wikipedia page. Today, in this Human Meme podcast, I submit none of that matters, up or down either side. The definitions of failure and success have no comity in the world of the author, because none of it addresses the perfunctory mandate of the talent. To write is to have written, and to have written is to have created, and to have created is to be forgiven. Forgiven for wasting your life. I am reminded of a New York City mentor of mine. He told me many years ago I was more an associate than an assistant to him on the first job I worked, and that meant a lot to me. This author had a lot of money. He lived in a lovely 3-story townhouse on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. He won an Academy Award, a couple of Tony Awards, and he headed up one of the largest proactive author groups in the nation. He also wrote television specials on a yearly basis. And this author mentor of mine was miserable. And he tried to hide it and cover it over with outstanding hubris and accomplishment. But inside he was miserable and unaccomplished in anything human or caring. He had no kids, no real family. His life lived away from him. His life was his work. His friends were his words. His associates were of convenience and not authenticity. And nothing was ever enough for him. Everyone, including me, was competition that needed to be defeated and not sustained. If you were unuseful, you were non-transactional, and you were discarded unless you proved wholesome and necessary to renewing his covenant. This mentor of mine was on the phone all day, working for work, working his friends, working his colleagues, and none of them really respected him. Oh, they feared his temper and his driving need to not just defeat you, but to punish you as well. And so, by any reasonable accounting, this mentor of mine was a blazing success on the outside. When inside, in the shadowy reality behind the facade of the man, he was a blistering failure by any human accounting of a life engaged. And that's why authors need to be reasonable but untouchable, because one person's success is another's failure. If you write for money and awards, that's quite a specific life that can be curried and consulted. But in the end, it is empty and non-felicitous. So while you are in the midst of this human life, this writer's life, how you present the argument of your dreams and wishes and human needs are vital, if separating. There is nothing wrong with being selfish and disinvested in the welfare of others, as long as you're fully aware of what you're doing. Because the right author, the good author, cannot hide from the truth of the life being lived. Or all spent creativity is in jeopardy of being dismissed and erased. I argue it is better to be fully transparent and aware, because then people expect nothing extraordinary from you. And there is real power in being precisely who you claim to be, because so many others around you are only pretending to be someone else. And so with that reflexive power of being, you can begin to unfurl and share your talents. Let others know your capacity to love and to loathe. Because being real is more important than money. Authenticity has more natural value than a Wikipedia page. And always remember, the best of us, the top most of us, have fallen into greatness. Those who fell achieved a pinnacle and tumbled into the pitfall. Our suffering defines us. In the process of toppling from where we leapt, greatness awaits us in the void. And that is why the resurrection story, the second chance, the revival of talent are all so revered in the world. Because we all fail, and we all hope for greatness. We achieve immortality and then die. Live with graciousness. Be kind and helpful on your way up, even if people are cruel and punishing on your way down. Only you can control what happens in your own mind. And perspective is what creates reality. There is enough success for everyone to share. Keeping opportunities and vision and creativity to yourself for your own profit may take you in the short term, but it cripples you in the long run. It takes the same energy to help someone as to crush them. But crushing is quicker. But helping is more rewarding. There's an old passive-aggressive saying that people don't remember what you did for them, they only remember how you made them feel. And that is a dangerous concept to tempt for both sides, because that makes one side responsible for the feeling of someone else. But one day, the people you have helped will outweigh those who live through their emotions. And in the end, even if the emotional people do not fall on your side, you may allow them to fall away into their own despair, because the record of your helping is public and rational and logical, and open for both qualitative and quantitative discovery. You cannot measure someone else's feelings, but you can preserve the record of deeds done and careers helped. Concentrate on result and not wonder. For wonder lifts, but action is measurable before and after the fall. Oh, And the answer, the direct answer to this human meme podcast topic. What is a failed writer? The answer is this. The failed writer is the one who has the talent to write well, but prefers not to. Thank you for listening. Be a human meme.